So Monster Hunter Wilds just had a really awesome showcase at the Tokyo Game Show, and in that reveal we saw a lot of brand new information that has me and probably quite a few people excited for the upcoming launch of Monster Hunter Wilds. We saw some brand new reveals on some of the upcoming monsters, some that were completely new to me, and overall just some really cool monsters that were showcased. We also saw some amazing new details that's going to be adding to the quality of life and immersion of the game. And alongside all those amazing new reveals and details, we actually saw some things that were concerning quite a few players. Some players think that these changes are going to be possibly ruining the game, and I kind of want to discuss all this in this video. Just keep in mind, if you are enjoying the Monster Hunter content, hit that like button because we're going to be covering it leading into the launch of the game. And yeah, let's dive into these brand new monster reveals. All right, first things first, to the new revealed monsters, we have Kongalala. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. I am a Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise player. Never played anything before those titles, and this is a completely new monster for me. I see a lot of comments of Kongalala is back, so a lot of players are very happy about that. He looks really damn cool. He's a giant monkey, kind of remind me of a mixture of Rajang and that one monster that eats fruit and he like has a tail and he slammed down on his tail. I forget his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He looks very similar. He was in Monster Hunter Rise, and he looks like a combination of those two monsters. He has a fart attack that's really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a monster that does a fart based attack, which is going to be cool. He actually even have a weak point in his butt, so kind of crazy. He will eat the fruits and like kind of use them as extra powers and things like that, so that was kind of cool. Actually do his little breath attack based on the things that he eats, so Kongalala looks really cool. He definitely looks like a monster who's going to be very agile. His kit looks very versatile in terms of what he can do, and I'm really excited to try this monster out. Let me know what you guys think about him and his return, and if you have any more details about this monster, because again, he's a little new to me, feel free to leave them down below. Next, we did get some really cool and updated footage of Lala Barana. This is the new fluffy looking spider. I once again have never ran into this monster before. Let me know if this is a previous generation monster or something new. But yeah, they revealed some more gameplay footage of facing off against Lala, and it was really cool. One thing that was very noticeable and very different that from what we've seen from previous like videos were the fact that there was a lot of paralysis based stuff. From what I can tell, when you shoot the red flower things that Lala drops down, it does look like this is going to basically reduce the amount of paralysis that is on you. It's really hard to tell if you're not looking at the paralysis counter in the top there, but ultimately it does look like Lala is going to have some mechanics where you face off against them and, you know, need to maneuver, but also need to control your amount of paralysis, because in theory Lala could just paralyze you and just take you out. I'm a big fan of spider-based monsters in any game because they're really cool and creepy, and one that can paralyze you looks very terrifying to say the least, but a very cool monster design that I myself is really looking forward to. We also got some Duna gameplay as well. This was really cool because I've once again have never seen this monster before. And one thing that really stuck out to me was the shield-based mechanic that we're seeing on Duna. I'm not really sure what this is. I've never encountered this in a Monster Hunter game, but it does look like Duna does have some form of protection whenever you're hitting them. You're going to see these bluish shields come up that, in my opinion, believes is going to be something like some form of damage reduction, maybe some type of resistance reduction based on his like outer like shielding that he has. Ultimately, Duna looks really cool. It looks like he's going to be someone that's going to be a tough fight. All these monsters look like really cool fights. They're all going to have something unique. And speaking of them being unique, there is a new mechanic that is going to be revealed, which is the unique dynamic monster battles. Now, all of us love the turf wars. They're some of the best parts of playing Monster Hunter. But weaken one of the monster if they lose to turf war. It's just a spectacle to observe, and in this game they're doing something a little bit different. Every single turf war is going to be dynamic, and it's not going to be like a static result. Now, what condition it is that's going to like determine the winner, that's unknown. It could be if the monster that you're facing off against, you weaken them, but they get into a turf war against a monster that he technically could have won against, but because you injured him, he lost this time. Who knows what the mechanic is, but according to the team, it's going to be a dynamic type thing, so expect to see some really unique turf wars, and they're going to be different each individual fight. Speaking of unique details, we also got some information and actually a showcase of the unique system of being able to go from zone to zone. This is something I've never experienced in previous Monster Hunter titles, where you transition from one zone to another, and this is actually going to be a really cool feature that's going to be added to the game. And again, we got a showcase of this, and it was 100% seamless. seamless. This is definitely going to add to the immersion of the game, and I really love details like this. Now, before we end this video, there were a handful of other things that I want to talk about that has quite a few players worried, and that is the brand new fast travel system that you can use in combat. Now, for those of you who are not aware or familiar with the Monster Hunter series, typically when you try to fast travel back to camp mid-combat, you generally want to use a Farcaster. This is a consumable that will basically make you safe and take you back to camp to refill, restock, do whatever it is, whatever the case is you need to do. In Monster Hunter Wilds, it does look like they're going to be able to go through a series of menus and just fast travel back to base at any given time without any form of consumable. Now, I've been seeing a lot of talk on Reddit, a lot of talk in just different parts of the community, that this is actually taking away from the hardcoreness of the game. And I definitely understand. In previous Monster Hunter titles, you had to be pretty smart about how you use your Farcaster, how you use your materials, your resources, things like that. And this to some degree actually takes away from that. With that said, I do have my own personal opinion on this, and I'll just tell you what I think. I think that looking at the map that we've seen so far, the quantity of monsters that we're going to see on the map, and the fact that we're going to be going from region to region, as I said a second ago when I showed you the seamless transition to new regions, I actually don't hate this. I think it's actually fairly fair considering how much of a headache it is going to be to navigate around the map. Personally, I'm going into Monster Hunter Wilds to fight tons of monsters, and a Farcaster or 3 not really going to be enough, and I don't want to have to go through a bunch of loading screens and or have to go all the way back to base when we could use the fast travel to get restocked to face off against more monsters. I want to know you guys' personal thought on this. Do you think this is taken away from the hardcoreness of the game? Do you like the system? Let me know down in the comments. Try to keep it respectful though. On top of this, there is another thing that players are not actually pretty happy about that we saw in the previews, and that is decoration farming. So if you play Monster Hunter Rise, then you'll know how decoration farming was handled in that game, and it was pretty damn amazing. In Monster Hunter World, there was a very heavy emphasis on farming decorations, a system that I will say was a little bit hit or miss for me. I don't hate farming, but I don't love it. I think a lot of players have the same sentiment, so it does look like there's going to be decoration farming once again in Monster Hunter Wilds. We haven't seen an indication of how this is going to be handled. Personally, again, I don't mind it, but hopefully the system is closer to Rise than it is to World. I don't mind farming, but I don't love the RNG nature of things. They can be a little bit annoying to deal with. But once again, down in the comments, let me know what you think about the decoration system coming back where we have to farm for it. And there you have it, guys. That is everything we saw at the Tokyo Game Show reveal, at least a good portion of the important things. It was a massive amount of reveals, but yeah, there was a lot of good stuff here. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you're excited for Monster Hunter Wilds release, don't forget to like as well as subscribe to the channel. Of course, we're going to be keeping you up to date on Monster Hunter Wilds, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video very soon, guys.